hanging out with the crew of Demon 305, and we are coming to you from the place where violence happens.
Iron Fist. Yep.
Bam Bam in the
Boom.
building.
Hey, I appreciate
How you doing,
y'all. Thank you for coming, man. God bless. God bless.
You know, we have a lot to talk about today. You have a very interesting story, beginning with your name, Bam Bam. This is your real name. Tell us, where do you get this name from?
It is my real name. Now, I was adopted. Now, I can't tell you what my biological parents were thinking, but through 36 years of time on this earth, I think that they like the Flintstones and they like the character Bam Bam, because for it to be on my birth certificate and my license, at first they thought it was funny, they thought it was laughable, but Bam Bam turned into a real thing. It's not a gimmick, it's not an alias, it's really me. So yeah, it's actually my real name, Sean Bam-Bam Hotusing.
At what point do you start fighting?
I always dabbled with it growing up. I always say this story, MMA wasn't a thing, and I was like one of the best baseball players in Miami, so I chose that route, but boxing was still a thing. I didn't really respect martial arts in the sense of Taekwondo and karate guys, you know, hitting wood, chopping wood. I would already beat them up in school, so I didn't really respect the martial arts, but as MMA started growing, I started realizing there's a lot that I don't know, which being jiu-jitsu, coming from Brazil over here to the States, and I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. That's where I really feel like I started to elevate my game, understand martial arts, and it made me more of a man. So as I got older, I would say about 25, I started taking it really serious, about when my daughter was born.
You decided you weren't taking, you know, karate or other forms of martial arts seriously, but then you had to kind of take a step back and reflect and be like, you know what, I have a lot. Tell me about that process a little bit, because I think sometimes people don't realize that they still have a lot to learn.
I was always growing up in high school, I was ready to fight anybody. And then after high school, those same people that I was gonna fight started doing steroids, and they got really big. And the problems didn't stop just because high school finished. And all of a sudden I was like, well, what happens if they get on top of me? My brother, he'll fight anybody, not trained or nothing. He's only 5'8". So he would have to fight some of my battles because they would see him and they'll be 6'2", black guys, big. This is the kind of problems that I had with people. I was like, well, if they get on top, what do I do? So that pretty much was it. I went to the gym that I went to. I became an instructor. I became a purple belt through there. But basically I come out as this masculine man, but I became this man because I was just a scared chicken. And I was not trying to be embarrassed. So really, I'm thankful for martial arts made me the man I am.
Why do you think you were involved in so many fights?
The same reason now people hate me for no reason, because I got the gift of gab, and now I work and I got a gift of jab. I don't know what to say. Like, whatever we talk about now, people are gonna find a way to hate it. But I don't know, I really don't know. People just don't like my green eyes. You see, at least he was honest. That's some Dimelo.
I got brown eyes.
Hey, you know, that I don't know.
At what point do you decide, you know what, I have a gift and I want to go pro and I want to see if I can make money off this thing? Because that's a leap of faith, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
I was working in the nightlife as security before I became a bodyguard, but I still end up sometimes working security. I'll even mow a lawn if I have to. I'll do what I gotta do. And I got fired like 3 times in a row for being a liability, and I thought I was just doing my job. So I was like, well, if you're gonna be fighting so much, why don't you do it professionally? You had to have 5 amateur fights, minimum, to become a professional. So I had 5 amateur fights in 9 months, even with pullouts. Wow. And then I became a pro because I believed in me. And through the process, I ended up getting a Hall of Fame coach, which has really leveled me up. Shout out Juan Arroyo, I appreciate it, pound for pound training. And I think I'm just a dangerous individual, but not because I'm dangerous, because I never was a bully. You know.
How in the world does it happen that you become the bodyguard for 6 times? You got like a phone call? Like, was that like an email? Like how? Like
my cousin is Jake Paul's bodyguard. Okay. I train him. I train all the guys there. Shout out Andrew. And he told me like, hey man, you should try it out. And I'm like, that's not for me. Look at me, I'm trying to be the world's greatest MMA fighter. But then I went and I fought a UFC fighter in my MMA debut, 6'6" Trey Waters. Shout out Trey. He did beat me, and I made $400. So when I was looking down at that check and my daughter, it wasn't adding up. So I went to go investigate what's up with this bodyguard thing, and I made $400 in 1 day. So thank you, Andrew, because it was the best decision. And then that's how I fell into it, just like that.
So I remember when we hear that 6ix9ine gets jumped, I think it was outside a gym or something, right? You weren't there.
Story here. I could tell you about that. And this is what the internet is the craziest thing. The night before, we were at the Miami Marlins game, and he got drunk. He was on parole. He's on parole. The cops were gonna arrest him. You could see me in there making sure he don't look goofy, or the police don't arrest him. You could see it. The internet.
Also making sure that he doesn't look wild.
Oh, of course. No, that's my main job. Yeah. That's why they call Bam-Bam. So, because they like to act like they don't have security, and I don't look like security. So, yes, but that's my main job, making sure my client don't look goofy in Miami, because then I look goofy. Next day, he has to go check in, just like right now, he got arrested in New York with his parole officer. So my partner, Chris, went with him to New York. They got back. He went home to sleep because we was gonna go out at night. I was over here doing my thing, and I guess he wanted to go to work out. He's
Power Fitness.
No, LA Fitness. He a grown man though, and I mean, he wants to work his cardio, He don't gotta tell me everything he does. But I guess he did go, and that happened. Now, because I'm the one that does the street politicking and conversing with these people, and following them, you know, making sure like they don't feel some type of way against my client and blah, 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 street politicking. Well, the internet just like, oh, well, he follows this. He must have set him up, boom, boom, boom. And the internet went with it. And that's how it happened. I went from being the world's best to the next day, the world's worst.
How does it happen though that you get accused of something so crazy like that? There's a couple Bam-Bams that we see here. There's Bam the fighter. There's Bam the businessman. There's Bam the security guard. There's Bam the friend. You know, what does the businessman do after such a terrible incident? How do you bounce back from that?
I mean, it was tough, but I think from my upbringing and being adopted and not having a mother, my dad raised me to be a man's man. So I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk, but I'm not gonna lie, it was tough. My partner would tell you, because yeah, it was tough. It was tough, but I just had to keep pushing. Like I said, try to clear my name. And then eventually people see me trying to clear my name, and they ended up believing me because, I mean, look at everything I've done. I went over to the gym on EOS, on Kendall. Random guy comes up asking me to spar. I punch him in the face. I'm the world's worst person. They want to Bam-Bam from EOS. I'm just trying to stay afloat, and I get accused for everything, man. So I already grew accustomed to it. And then I turn all that negativity into positivity.
You're 36 years old, right? How do you think you're feeling now that you're getting a little older and you're still fighting? How much fight do you still have left?
Well, I got a lot of fight in me because I'm peaking. I'm peaking. I'm a dangerous individual when it comes to martial arts. But just as I grow, as my mentality just changes, and I'm doing it all for the right reasons. But it's been like that already for a long time. That's why it would upset me when they talk crap, because ever since my daughter's been born, I feel like God been blessing me, and He can't be blessing me because I'm nobody. He must be doing it for my daughter.
I do want to talk about how your life has changed with the birth of your daughter.
No, my daughter, she was a blessing, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Like, I'm a kid myself, is what I'm saying, in the sense of I'm a kid at heart. I'm fighting. I'm bodyguarding. Like, people want me to conform and get a 9-to-5. People close to me, and I've almost done it many times. I've almost hang up fighting many times because one fight a year, you know what I'm saying? It's so, so invested. But no, I wasn't ready to have no daughter. I wasn't ready, but it was actually the best thing that happened to me. It made me softer, sweeter, in a nice way that makes me more vicious when I fight.
What are some of your goals for this upcoming year?
Man, I just hope the BKFC could see all the motion the people want me to get back in there, and I need to get on a winning streak because I really want to win a title. That's what I really want to do for my coach, for me, and for Bella be like, damn, my dad is a badass. Because that's what I do it for. Bella to be like, damn, my dad's a badass. I love you, Bella.
Bam, man, it was a pleasure getting to know you on a deeper level. Thank you so much for opening.
And I appreciate you guys coming and giving me the opportunity and your platform to share my story. Because that's the generation and the world we live in, man. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man. I'm about to spar, beat these guys up. If you guys want to catch some footage, it's up to you. Damn, I literally said beat them up. Now I gotta really live that.